Thanks for staying tuned. I'm Colin Abrams with the HGP SPORTSCAST. Pacesetters upset Sonics and Eagles flew high to pip Vikings on Wednesday night at the Burnham Hard Court in the Ghana Amateur Basketball First, Second and Under-23 leagues. Stanford Howard has the details.
In Wednesday night's basketball encounter in the Under-23 division, Sonics went up against Pacesetters. It was during the second quarter when Pacesetters put their foot down on the gas as they took the first half 36-27, heading into the second half with a 9-point margin. The second half saw Sonics' lack of zest as Pacesetters continue on with their momentum in the third quarter, with Sonics only managing 9 points to Pacesetters' 23. Pacesetters' drive was no different in the last quarter. When they doubled the points the Sonics scored in that quarter, 38-15, to take the game 96-51. Skipper Quincy DeSantos led from the front with 28 points and Troy Davids contributed with 18 points. The second encounter was a second division match, which was a pins and needles from the start to the first half of the game, when both teams, the Vikings and the Eagles, tied on 19 points to end the first quarter. Eagles took the first half by a slim margin, 35-34. In the second half, the Eagles flew a little higher when they took the third quarter by 4 points to lengthen their small lead. However, the Vikings took the fourth quarter 22-20 as the Eagles took the game by 2 points, 76-74. Sherlin Gills was the man behind the Eagles' win with 30 points to his name. Reporting for the HGP Sportscast, I am Stanford Howard.
Thank you, Stanford. The 7th Annual Courts Pee Wee Football Tournament was launched, and the action will begin on September 29.
Troy Mendonca, co-director of the Petra organization, the body responsible for organizing the tournament, says the tournament was birthed through the body's persistence in developing football at the grassroots level.
We realize schools is the best place for us. And that was the birth of Courts Pee Wee on 11 at schools, because we understand the magnitude, the amount of kids that are going to be involved. And from then to now, it's been a yearly commitment by this institution, and I just would want to applaud them in a very serious way for their contribution over the past 6 years.
The tournament will be staged from September 29 to November 3, Mendonca explains.
It attracts 32 teams, mainly teams from Georgetown and our immediate surrounding, which is East Coast, East Bank, West Dem. We're going to divide, as usual, eight groups of 4 teams. Each team will play each other in the group, and the first and second from each group advance to the round of 16.
Banks IH's Malta Supreme brand manager Clayton McKenzie applauded the Petra organization for hosting the tournament. Courts brand manager Pernell Cummins says the company is happy to be a part of the event and encourage players to have fun.
And I wish you all a good luck and a wonderful PB tournament. It is a huge expense every year, but it's honestly, we do see the return on it. We do see the benefit of it when we see the smiling kids at the faces of the children, smiling faces of the children, see the excitement, the enthusiasm as they go out there, giving their all. So good luck to you in this year's PB tournament.
The head of the Physical Education Department in the Ministry of Education, Nicholas Fraser, says the ministry is excited to be a part of the event.
It's very important and very good to see these ideals, these different objectives aligned, and I'm very happy to say that on behalf of the Ministry of Education, that this is one of the activities that we have in bold in our calendar of events, and it's one of the activities that we usually have no issue in approving.
Colin Abrams, HGP Sports.
South Africa and West Indies split points after a rained-out second ODI. Persistent rain forced a washout in the second women's ODI between West Indies and South Africa on Wednesday. South Africa had won the first match, and the ODI on Saturday will now be the series decider. Points from this series go towards the ICC Women's Championship, meaning both teams got 1 point each towards that. Rain had caused a delay right at the start, with the match initially reduced to 43 overs a side. It was further reduced to 38 overs after another hour was lost 10 overs into the South Africa innings. Put into bat, the visiting side made 177 for 8 in 38 overs, driven by captain Dane Van Niekerk's 53 of 66. Chloe Tyrone made 37 off 44, but that apart, there wasn't any significant contributions. Deandra Dutton was the most successful bowler, taking 3 for 29 in 8 overs before rain ended proceedings. The last ODI is on September 22 at Kensington Oval. And finally, the Russian anti-doping agency has been reinstated by WADA, but the decision to lift the suspension has been labeled the greatest treachery against clean athletes.
The 3-year suspension against USADA has been ended by WADA after the country was marred with allegations of state-sponsored doping. Anti-doping agencies around the world opposed the move. The reinstatement is subject to strict conditions, WADA President Craig Reedy stated. The World Anti-Doping Agency must be granted access to the former Moscow laboratory, data and samples in a timely manner. The decision to reinstate USADA was backed by 9 of the 12-strong executive committee, with 2 against and 1 abstention at a meeting held on Thursday to decide the fate of the Russian agency. A lawyer for Russian whistleblower Gregory Rodchenkov called it the greatest treachery against clean athletes in Olympic history. Russia's anti-doping agency was suspended since 2015 over alleged state-backed doping after it was accused of covering up drug abuse, including while the country hosted the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics. Just last week, a WADA compliance committee recommended Russia's reinstatement after they received assurance from the Russia Sports Ministry that the country had sufficiently acknowledged its failures. Colin Abrams, HGP Sports.
And that is the end of our sportscast for today. Remember, if your dream is big enough, the facts don't matter. Goodbye.